Hi there. It's Professor Monty, and we're determining if a function is one-to-one. Okay, so we're going to determine this algebraically. I'll have another video where I determine if it's one-to-one by looking at the graph geometrically. I'll link that to the end of this video. But a function is one-to-one, so we're already assuming it's a function. So each x value has a different y value. If no different x values, no two different x values or the inputs give the same y value or the same output. So it's a little bit difficult to do. We have to think about it a little bit. But for instance, f of x equals 2x plus 1. This is one-to-one because any different x value I put in is going to give me a different y value. And remember, what y value is equal to f of x. So when we see f of x, that just means y. But no matter what number I put in for x, it's going to give me a y value or an f of x value, but if I put in a different x, it's going to give me a different y. And we just kind of have to see that. Let me show you some things to look out for to see if it might not be. Because on this one, you just kind of have to trust me. I challenge you, find two different x values that will give you the same y value. You can't in this function. But what to look out for is look for things like x squared and absolute values of x. Because then positives and negatives of the same x value will give you the same y value. Let me show you. If I have this function, g of x equals x squared plus 4, if I plug in, for instance, -1 for x, g of -1 is -1 squared plus 4, which is 1 plus 4, which is 5. But if I plug in +1 for x, g of 1 is 1 squared plus 4, which is 1 plus 4, which is again 5. Notice what happened. I had two different x values that gave me the same y value. So g of x is not one-to-one. And the reason is different x values, in this case -1 and +1, gave the same y value. Which was 5. Okay, so on x squared, that's not going to be a one-to-one function. So let's look at an absolute value. We'll do a similar thing. Let's plug in -2 and +2. So h of -2 is going to be 3 times the absolute value of -2, which is 3 times 2, which is 6. But if I plug in +2, the absolute value doesn't care what you plug in, positive or negative. It's still going to come out as a +2. I'm still going to get 3 times 2. I'm still going to get 6. So again, for the same reason, different x values gave me the same y value. H of x is not one-to-one. So again, these are some things to look at. X squareds, maybe x to the 4th, x to the 6th, absolute value of x. What we do is we try to plug in the negative and the positive of the same number. That's one of the key things that we're going to see that's going to make it not one-to-one. If we don't see that, it's usually going to be one-to-one. You may look to see if there's some times other than x squared, x to the 4th, x to an even power, or absolute value of x. But that's what we look for. Okay, that's how to determine if a function is one-to-one algebraically. I'll come back with one to show you how to check geometrically or with the graph, and it's actually much easier.